are going to move into the program portion of today's celebration. And really, I think Jackie here is going to have a few words for us about our very special guest who has come back to the Academy, joining us today. But I'd really love Jackie to tee us up for what we've got in store.
Sure. So as you know or may not know, Jim recently retired himself. And during an AMST subcommittee meeting, I asked what he wanted to do, and he said, I'm going to do some inventions and I'm going to do some stand-up. And so when we knew Martina was having a party, we thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to bring Jim in for not your inventions, but your stand-up.
That is his invention.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First of all, let's give it to Martina. She's moving to Georgia. So get your hugs in now, folks.
Yeah.
Okay? So me and Martina, we're good friends, right? And you know, people ask me sometimes, how'd you guys get to be such good friends? Let me tell you the story. Okay? First of all, let me tell you something about me. I don't like most people. just the way it is, nothing personal, it's just that, you know, the way I was brought up and stuff, so most people I don't like it. But let me be clear about that. That doesn't mean I hate you. Okay? There's no hate. I may not like you, but I don't hate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am. So I have a process that I use to indoctrinate my friends. You know, I don't let anybody in. Okay, I mean, you have your co-workers, then you have your friends, right? Everybody know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay, sometimes there are two different groups.
Yes.
Sometimes there's a little bit of overlap, but usually it's two different groups. So my co-workers, some of the difference between friends and co-workers, right? Like co-workers, I will pretend to listen to you tell me about your life. Okay? I won't ask any questions, and don't ask me any questions, because I'm not going to remember. Okay? If you're a friend, then I will at least remember something. Not your name, right? I'm not good with names, but I remember you got kids and what you look like and stuff like that. Also, friends get special treatment. Okay? I give you an example. Let's say Martina. She gets up and goes to the bathroom. She's got a dress on, right? Which she does wear from time to time. And the dress is stuck in her green thong panties. I'm not saying this because I saw this. I'm just. So now, if I'm just a coworker, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look up and see her. Then I'm gonna take my phone out, okay, and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna sit back and see how long it takes for someone to tell her. Okay, that's the coworker treatment. Okay? That's the way it is. But if I'm your friend, I'm gonna act a little different, right? I'm gonna do this first. I'm still gonna do that. I'm still gonna take a picture, but I'm gonna come over and tell you. I'm gonna say, hey, Martina, you need to tuck that thing in. And I'll probably say something like, you know, you need more sun or some vitamin D. My glasses turned dark when I went there and looked at her butt, right? It's just too bright. So you need to do something about that. When you do become a friend of mine, you get a handbook. It gives you, lays all this stuff out, tells you what my responsibilities are and what your responsibilities are. All right, so in order to move from a coworker to a friend, there's going to be an evaluation done. Okay, you got to go to a website, fill out an application, and pay a fee. It's not much, and it's, you know, it's not reoccurring. It's just one time. And then what that does is I'm gonna start the process. Step one is observation. I'm just gonna sit back and watch you, right? It may take me 6 months before I'm done watching, but you know, I'm just watching, see, look for a couple things, right? Looking for, you know, how you dress, You know, is your hair done all right? Do you got hair growing out of your ears? Stuff like that, you know. But I'm not going to talk to you. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm trying to answer one question. Just one question. You guys know what that question is?
What?
Anybody? Anybody take a guess? What am I trying to figure out?
Do you like her?
No!
You're gonna be my friend.
No?
How much money do you have?
No. You guys got different criteria than I do. Okay. What I'm trying to determine is whether or not at some point in the future you're going to be a pain in my ass. Okay? If that question is true, you don't get to move forward. You know what I'm saying? How many people do that? Anybody? Yeah. Some people learn, right? Some people learn. Like my grandmother used to tell me, if you see trouble coming, cross the street. How many heard that?
Right.
You see trouble coming, you cross the street. Okay? So I'm crossing the street. Because at my age, I need no trouble. Okay? When I was younger, I would accept a little bit. You know, because trouble is fun sometimes. Okay? But, you know, I don't need any more. So if the evaluation comes back that you're going to be a pain in the ass sometime, there's a probability. You know, I'm not always right. Sometimes they sneak through. Then you don't go to step 2. Okay? Anybody else do this? I know some of you should. Okay? Some of you really should do that. Okay. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, now I've heard some of you guys say this, and you've heard some of your friends say this too. They're getting divorced or something's breaking up, and they will say, I knew he was trouble from the first time I saw him. Raise your hand if somebody said that. Okay, we got a couple people who will admit it, but it's like you knew when you saw there was trouble, but you didn't listen. Didn't listen. That's what happens sometimes. That we teach us stuff and we don't listen. That's where tattoos come in. Right? Get it tattooed somewhere. I know what you're thinking. No, you're thinking the wrong thing. Okay, let me tell you what not to do. If you're gonna get a tattoo, the first thing is you don't put it right here. All right? A couple reasons for that. Number one, it's probably got something there already. Right? Some of you are nodding, some of you don't want to admit it, but I know you do. The second reason is no one's gonna see it. And if they do, it's too late. Right? So that doesn't work. You can't put the tattoo there. All right, so let's say you make it through phase 1 of this process. Okay? Then we put you on a to-do list. Okay? Not that kind of to-do list. What is your name? This means
Don't cross the street. Don't cross the
street. So this just means that we're going to move you to the next stage. Okay? So the first thing you got to pass is the visual check. The next check, you know what that is? How about you, my man? Got any idea what I'm doing next? Okay, I'll tell you. It's easy. You're going to listen to him. You're going to listen to him. Now, in order to do this, you got to sit a little closer to him. Before I was across the room, now I may be sitting 2 or 3 places down. Okay, I'm still not going to talk to you, but I'm going to listen to you. Now, a couple of things I'm looking for when I'm listening to you, right? What am I looking for? I'm looking for some stuff here. First of all, you have to speak the English. If you don't speak the English, I can't help you because that's what I speak. And I struggle with that. So, number one, if you don't speak the English, it ain't going to work. I got one person in my group that doesn't speak English. She got in because her husband came in. Okay? He doesn't speak much English either, but I can't understand a damn word she's saying. If she calls me Jim. If I ever go talk to her, I take my wife with me to translate. Okay? So you got to speak the English. So some of the stuff I'm going to be looking for, what I'm observing you, is how you talk. what words you use, how you treat other people, looking for that. Look at the attitude. Get a lot of attitude out of tone, right? And so what I'm trying to do is come up with a number, right? It closely follows IQ, okay? You know? It does. IQ. But you got to make adjustments for it. So I come up with an IQ number, then I make adjustments for it, right? And I make those adjustments based on what I'm seeing. Some of the adjustments, you may get adjusted if you have some really good skills, right? If you can do something really well, I'll make an adjustment, okay? Or if it's easy to talk you into doing stuff, you definitely get an adjustment there, right? If you can ride a bicycle, you know, it's a big list I go through. So I'm trying to figure out where you fit in my possible friends list here. Okay, now I have a bunch of friends. I got the guys over here, and I got the guys over here. Okay, and it's like a normal distribution. That's what that looks like, right? Most people in the middle, you got someone in. Okay, so as you get farther over this way, you know, those guys are like super smart. They're not a lot of fun most of the time. Okay, but they can help you with taxes and stuff. So you gotta have some of this, okay, you gotta have some. These guys wouldn't be there.
I was just asking,
Yeah, they wouldn't be standing there. Sorry, man. And then the people on the left, these are the guys with a lower number, right? But these are the guys that have more fun, more likely to get arrested if you hang out with them. There'll probably be some pregnancies. Okay? And the further you get, the wilder they get. So a lot of you start out life over here with way too many of these guys. Okay, over time you gotta let those people. Well, most mine die, right? And you just don't renew them. You get somebody over here. But you need a mix. Let me give you an example. Girls' night out. Let's say we're having a girls' night out. Yeah. So she's gonna pick some girls to go out with. Okay? Most of them are gonna be right in here, in this part of the curve. She's gonna pick one over here, maybe two. These are the guys that are gonna be telling these one or two way over here what to do. You know what I'm talking about, okay? When somebody starts taking off the clothes, it's these guys telling these guys to do it. And they're doing it. Is this the first, you guys experienced this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I see you. But you know, the proper mix, you need that. You need a proper mix of friends, okay, for certain activities. You know, if I want to get my taxes done, I'm calling these guys. If I want to have a website built, I'm calling these guys. If I want to be on the website, these guys are the ones who get called. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what Martina is. All right, so now, before I bring on a new friend, one of the first things I do is see if I got a spot for you. I give you a number, like I'm giving you a number now, and I look over here and I got a spot. It's like a football team, right?
Yeah.
You know, you may have to get on the waiting list. You know, you only have so many friends, right? So you put people on the waiting list and then you bring them in. This process used to have 3 steps, right? I only have 2 now. The third one I had to stop. That was the smell test. I got served, I guess, what they call it, when somebody brings some papers to your house and says, sign this, don't do it anymore. Yeah, so that happened. So I don't smell people anymore. Okay, so there's only 2 parts to this. Oh boy. So now, how do you know where you are with me? Right? Are you a coworker or are you a friend? Anybody know that? You raised your hand or you moved. Yeah, you moved. Yeah. How do you know? How do you distinguish your friends from your coworkers? Anybody?
Well, if you talk or listen to us.
Well, but I'm talking about when you first walk up.
Oh.
I walk up, you walk up. It's how you greet them. You said that. Your lips didn't move, but you said it. Yeah, how you greet them. Okay, so when you're greeting a coworker, what you normally do is you're going to walk up and you're going to stop. Your feet are going to be like 2 feet apart. And you're going to either do a shake, a fist bump, a high five, or something. And it takes you a minute to figure it out, but you're just going to get it wrong. Right? Somebody's doing this, you're doing this. Right? Then after about the third meeting, you know what you're doing. I used to do the finger, too. I just point at people. I stopped doing that, too. Somebody grabbed my finger. And she wouldn't let go. That didn't look good, so I stopped giving them the finger. So that's how you tell us how you greet them. Okay. Now, if you're a friend, when you greet them, you get a little closer, right? I mean, your feet still don't pass, but you get closer, and you hug, and there may be some rubbing, some patting, some of that, but nothing below the waist, pretty much, right? And it lasts maximum like 3 seconds, right? That's a hug. And that's as far as we go in the friend category, right? Unless you get in the special friend category, which is even, I think my wife has to prove those. Okay, so let me tell you about Martina now. Martina. Oh boy. The first time we met, I don't remember exactly when, but we met. It was a come up, hi Martina, good handshake, everything was fine. We're good. The next meeting, which was the next day. So I expected another handshake, right? She gives me a hug, right? Well, word, I didn't know if we got there yet. The very next day. So now, I have a process, and my standards are like here. Now, I'm not saying where she was, but I'm thinking, come on in. So I didn't stress, because we all sometimes pull that friend card different times. So I just gave a hug too, thinking, okay, we're good. Till the next day. Okay? Just so you know, I started a provisional friend application for you already. So the next day, day 3, Wednesday, Martina, Wednesday. She comes up, I think she's gonna give me a hug again. This time, a friend hug, your feet are here and their feet are here, right? That's generally the line you don't cross. Here's my foot, here's her feet. Okay? Somehow she gets up in here. Not a regular hug, but like a guess who's coming to dinner hug. She's up in there. And I don't know how to deal with it. So I hug her. And then, you know what she does? She lays her head on my shoulder. That's right. And she starts purring. I was having trouble processing all this right now. Okay, it was throwing stuff down. And then by the time I figured out what she did, she grabbed my ass. And she walked away. Okay? And it wasn't like a sexual thing. It was like she was checking out fruit. High school or something. I'm not sure what she was doing. Yeah, buddy. So I was confused. So I had to make a phone call. I had this dude I used to work with back before I joined PG&E, this intelligence agency. So whenever I get really confused, I call this old Jedi dude, right? It's not a call anymore. It's not a real call. I send him a message, right? And he's got some secret shit going on, so he's got a process you got to follow. So I sent him a message. The message has to be formatted a certain way. It has to be five words. Only 5 words, and you have to use all 5. So I sent him a message. I said, what did I say? I thought about it for a while. I said, super friendly feline, hot kitty. That's what I said. That was the message. Okay, he knew what that meant. I was describing the situation with Martina. So I'm sitting there waiting. I get a response back in about 5 minutes. He said, increase perimeter security, you wuss. Okay, now, that's code. You guys don't understand what that means. Okay, perimeter security, I'll tell you what that means. And you wuss, that's code for she's harmless. Don't worry about her. You know, no need to worry. Hope you're still harmless after this. Okay. So let me tell you about perimeter security. I learned this when I was in the agency too. Now, for people that are touchy-feely, who want to hug you a lot, there's this move called the hug stopper. You guys ever use that? You've used it.
Oh, I have.
How do you use it? What do you do? You do that. Outside. All right, that's a different way of doing it. How you do yours? Do it again.
Oh, this?
Yeah, that's what you do? Well, this is not what we do. Okay, so this one, okay, there's an offensive and a defensive method of this. HR said I can't tell you the offensive ones, so I'm just going to do the defensive. So start out with your fist crossed like this. You cross them like this, and you go like this. Okay? Now, when a person comes up to hug you, you put one foot forward and you stand like this. Okay? And you adjust the angle depending on the person. Okay? And it's hard to hug somebody that way. Most people take a hint. Most people take a hint. Martina. So, let me describe what happens. This is after lunch, 3rd day. I don't even know her name now. Still don't know her name. Okay, Martina something. So I'm talking in the back of the classroom with somebody. I see her coming. And she's looking at me. And you know, she's carrying a bag. Like a black bag with some writing on it. Has some letters on it. FCM or some shit like that. I don't know. Some writing on it. 3 letters in this little black bag. And she has a purse, and you know, professional looking. She's walking. And she's got that look in her eyes when she's coming up there. So I spot her. I said, okay, I'm ready for you. So I get in position and go like this. Right, I'm still talking to my man here. So she comes up and posts right here. She's standing right here. So, you know, I want to include her, so I go back like this a little bit. But I still got my shield up, right? And I'm talking to my man, and so I'm just waiting to talk to her. She's waiting. So while she's standing there, she's holding this bag, and she's making this weird movement. She's going like this. You know, like I don't know if she's got a rash or whatever. And at first I thought maybe she's got to go to the bathroom. But that's not the go to the bathroom thing. The bathroom thing, your feet together, right? You're like this. She's like this. So to be honest, I didn't see her doing it. I didn't really see her doing it. I checked the tape later. That's what I saw. Saw it on the tape. And so finally, I look over to her, and she looks at me, and she looks at the bag. I look at the bag, and I look back over, and she says, hi, my name is Tina. And she looks at the bag, and she says, Funky Cold Medina. That's right. She said it. And then she does a pirouette, one of those twirl things, you know. But she does it a little different. Okay, you guys probably don't know this yet because you haven't been trained to observe people. But when people move, sometimes they lead with their upper body, and sometimes they lead with their lower body. You know, if you play football, defensive backs, they watch this. You know, you want to know where the guy's going. You don't want to get faked out, so you got to watch where he's going. So. Martina is a hip leader. You guys know what I'm saying? She leads with her hips. Okay, most women lead with with the other hand. Let me demonstrate so you know what I'm talking about. So, here we go. She's right here. I'm Martina. She's doing her little thing. And she's looking at me. And then once she says the funky cold Medina, her hips start turning while she's still looking at me. And she does that. And she moves like this, and she goes and sits down, pretty much where she's sitting down now. Right about there is where she sits. And she puts the bag on the table, she's just sitting there. Now, I didn't know what the hell I'm supposed to do at this point, right? I mean, what do you do? We're at work, I don't know what to do. This woman is crazy. So, but you know, I'm a man too. So she's gonna put me down, so I'm gonna follow her. Okay? So I grab my Pepsi, and I go follow her. I'm walking by her. And she's sitting down, she's got her hands on the table like this, and that bag is right in front of her. As I get closer to her, she reaches over with her right hand and pulls a chair out. I said, word. Okay? So I sit down in the chair next to her. And she doesn't say anything. So I set my Pepsi right on the table. Like that. I says, that's made with real sugar. Right? I says, and yeah, it tastes like chocolate. Some of you get that later. And we've been friends ever since. Most of the stuff they won't let me say here. So I had to make up new stuff. One of the things, you know, sometimes I talk too much. Like I told this lady here, Jackie something, that I wanted to do some stand-up comedy one day. But I really wasn't planning on doing it. You know, I'm just talking. Yeah. So I get a text. This is Jackie. So I don't know who Jackie is. You know? I don't remember names. I remember faces. So what I would do is go, well, what's your last name? So I can put it in my phone. So she gives me her last name, some Italian thing with a bunch of I's and E's and shit. At this point, I still don't know who I'm dealing with. I mean, it wasn't until today.
Stop it.
But she taught me to do this. I wasn't planning on doing any of this for, you know, another 4 or 5 months. I take some classes and stuff, but so thank you.
Thank you.
When you moving to Georgia?
In early April.
That's quick. So we got to hang out before you go to Georgia.
I would love to.
Yeah. If I know you was leaving, I'd have hung out with you sooner.